Hello guys, how are you doing? So, welcome back to my reactions, and as you can see I'm going to be watching episode 11 of the third season of My Hero Academy today. So in this last episode we got to see All For One finally showing up and showing us some of his powers as well, and what he can do with his like a really strong quirk, or like many of the quirks that he has because of the like this power that he got. So yeah, it was interesting to see how he manages to use like some of them together to create some like really powerful attacks. And we saw All Might was really struggling to fight against this guy as expected. I mean, All Might isn't like as strong as he was before as well, but even with that, he was kind of like holding back as well because Bakugo was still at the scene, so he didn't want to put Bakugo's life in danger. But it was nice to see that Deku and the others went along with this plan to rescue Bakugo, and they managed to do it. So All Might was more free to go like all out and try to defeat this guy. But we see that he's like really strong. Like All For One is like someone who's like a who has this big power, and yeah, they shouldn't like take him like lightly. It's going to be really hard to beat this guy. I mean, he's probably the strongest villain there is. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. We also saw how All Might is kind of like losing his form, this buffed up one, and apparently people are going to learn about that as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how everyone deals with this situation and what All Might does about it as well. So yeah, really curious to see it. So I hope you guys are ready, and let's start it. Ooh, it's starting differently. Oh, that's when he was younger. And that's the one who had the one for all first, or before him. Yeah, we knew that he was quirkless as well. Oh, Nana Shimori is actually a girl. I don't think I ever realized that. I did it was a guy, but it's actually a girl. Don't know if it was mentioned before or not, but it's nice to see that. So maybe this episode will show a bit of this time when All Might was like getting this one for all from this other girl who was the one who had it before him. So he's basically like Deku. It's really like we already knew that he was quirkless. He probably went through the same thing, but it's even better to actually see it. It would also be nice to see that like the following moments in more detail. I really hope they do that. And also how this one died. I don't think she's around anymore. But yeah, I'm really loving this season. On the story side, it's probably the best one so far. Damn, that chaos. They're like evacuating. Yep. This is really big. Of course. Sure, let's go with that. Yeah. I mean, I want to say they did. This way All Might doesn't need to worry about them as well. Yeah. This guy. That's going to trigger him. And me as well. Holy shit. Oh my god. Thank god Gran Torino was there. That's probably how they're going to find out about the other form of All Might. Because of these guys. Damn. Yeah, the mood is changing a lot. Yeah, he's the one who killed her. And the idea it was mentioned before. Oh, a survivor. Damn. He couldn't just dodge it. There was someone behind him. He couldn't dodge it. Damn, this guy. This is what being a hero is like. Putting others before you. They learned about it. That's going to change a lot. Expose. Oh my god. Really? Is that for real? Oh my god. Oh my god. This revelation. And this guy. Man, this is to learn this. Tomori is actually the grandson of his previous master. At least they're cheering him up. Oh, that's nice. At least this is happening. The willpower. Damn. That determination. Ooh, this music. Oh, and the Avery's there. And the other ones. They managed to stop those. Oh. Man, this is giving me so many Deku and Bakugo vibes. Oh, nice. Rescuing. Yeah, getting everyone out of there. So he can... So he won't need to hold back. Damn. This is really nice. Like, no matter how it looks like. That's Gran Torino. He did. Yep. Man, this is so emotional. That's really, really emotional to see them acting like this. They keep believing in him. Man, I'm tearing up. Man, what is this guy doing? He's doing that thing again. Mixing a lot of quirks. Damn, that arm. What is that thing? Oh. He's losing the power because he passed it to Deku. And he knows. Oh my god. His arm. Yeah, you can't die here. Oh my god. That arm. He's using everything. Damn. That was nice. Yep. It's completely destroyed. Oh. Swapping it again. Damn. It's going to do it. Damn. America? United States of Smash? Okay. I mean, he was using American states as names before, so That makes sense. And he lost it. It's like his duty is over. Damn. I hope he didn't die though. I'm not sure if this guy is done or not. But he's going to thumbs up. Gonna make the thumbs up. Or that. Yep. Showing that he's there. Man, this was such a nice episode. Even with learning this form of his, he's still standing and people were still cheering him up. Yeah. Damn, that was quite something. Not sure what will happen to All For One though. Not sure if he is. It's probably not done yet. Oh, they're rescuing the other people. Oh. Oh. What is he doing? Oh. Is this to Midoriya? Yeah, it's your turn. He's not going to die, right? Yeah, he is. Really glad that everyone stayed with him. Yeah. It's the end for him. As an hero, at least. I mean, not exactly as an hero, because being an hero is what you make and what you do. It's not about having powers or anything. It's more about your decisions. But yeah, this is basically the end of All Might, the symbol of peace. He's not going to be a pro hero anymore, most likely. Mostly because he lost all of his power. And that was basically directed to everyone, but more to Deku as well. Basically saying that it's his turn now. He needs to step up and he needs to be ready for when something like this happens again. So yeah, this was probably one of my favorite. Not probably. I mean, it was one of my favorites. I'm just not sure if it was really my favorite of every single one I've watched so far. I mean, I don't know what will happen next, but for now, this is really like up there as my favorite. It was just really insane to see everything that happened. I mean, we saw a big revelation about Tomura being the grandson of All Might's previous master, or not previous, like basically his master, that girl, and that really changes a lot. Like to know that, it's really something. Really hope they show Tomura's life in more detail, maybe with her as well. Really want to learn more and more about this. Yeah, he retires. Damn. this was really sick. I was honestly not expecting All Might to beat the All for One. That was something really unexpected, but I mean, he placed everything in the line. He knew that would be the last thing you would do as a pro hero and as a symbol of peace. And I'm really glad that he managed to do it. But my favorite part was when everyone found out about his true form, like who he really is, without being in this like buffed up one. And I really loved how everyone like they didn't give up on him. Basically, they were just like not caring about his form at all. They were still like cheering him up, and they were believing in him. That's what's most important. And they gave him the strength and the determination to do it. Basically, to use his remaining power, like the last of his flame, to beat the All for One. So that was probably my favorite moment of this whole episode. It was also really emotional, like to see everyone cheering him up. It was just beautiful to see. And yeah, his body is like all messed up now. I mean, he destroyed a lot of his body by doing this, but he managed to stop this guy. I'm pretty sure it's not like the end for him. He's now into custody. Like he's probably going to be placed in some kind of prison. I'm not too sure, but it's going to be interesting to see as well, like what exactly happens with him. But yeah, it was really insane to see all of this. I was really like scared of what would happen when people found out about his true self. But yeah, really glad to see how it all ended, and like to learn all of these small things about his past and like his master as well, and like to see how he was when he was younger as well, and Gran Torino when he was younger. It was really nice to see all of that, and now it's going to be like quite a situation. Like we now have basically Deku and Tomura. I'm not sure if this All for One guy is actually like done for, and maybe he already had plans to like give his power to Tomura, and Tomura is going to be the next All for One basically. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see like what happens from now on. But I'm expecting it to be like really nice. Like this whole season so far, it's probably my favorite in terms of like story and development. I mean, we saw the first season, which was more of like getting to know all of these characters and to understand a bit of what this anime would be about. And the second one was mostly about like them like developing their powers, getting stronger, and learning more things about this thing of being like a pro hero. And now in this one, we really have this development of this like starting fight between the villains and the heroes. So yeah, it's a really good one. Really enjoying it so far, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Like we saw in the preview that the next episode is apparently going to be like the beginning of the end, like end of the beginning and beginning of the end. So it's only going to be about really passing the power. I mean, the power is already in Deku, but it's more of like All Might is retired now, so it's really up to Deku. So it's going to be interesting to see how he also deals with all of this. Because All Might won't be there to help him anymore, so he really needs to step up and start like getting used to this one for all power. And yeah, it's going to be nice to see how he does it. Thankfully, All Might is not dead. I was really scared about that as well, because he was like getting so like badly injured and using so much power that I was like thinking that maybe he could die because of this. Like he would probably defeat this guy, but he would probably like die in the process as well. So I'm glad to see that wasn't the case and that he is fine. But yeah, he's now retired. That's basically the end of the All Might, or so to say. But we'll see what happens next. It's going to be really interesting, I'm sure. And that's basically it. So really hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to this episode. And if you did, please like and subscribe to the channel. And you can also join my Discord and my Patreon if you want to get early access to my full reactions. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, so see ya!